Hey everyone, I'm Justin with 702pros.com. We're going to be doing a tutorial on how to create a menu in WordPress. For this, we're going to be using Elementor and Elementor Pro. So WordPress is a open source framework for creating websites. Elementor is a builder that's on top of that framework, and then Elementor Pro is something that goes in addition with Elementor, and that is a premium plugin. Just so you know, so you have to pay to utilize that. And to create these menus, I believe you need Elementor Pro. Yes, you do. So I don't know what the pricing is, but I'll have links below if you want to click on Elementor Pro. Just watch the video, see if it's something that you're interested in. But it makes creating menus really robust, easy, and dynamic and professional. Let's get started, and we're going to be going into the screencast right now.
So the first thing you want to do is log into the WordPress website that you want to add this to. And if you don't have Elementor or Elementor Pro installed, go ahead and do that. I'm going to put the links below. But Elementor Pro, let me just give you pricing on Pro if you're not using it. So one site per year is $50. Yeah, for the year. But in order to do the menu, you're going to need that. So once you have those two installed, and if you need help installing a plugin, I could do a video on this, but this tutorial might be a little too advanced. But just let me know if you need help installing one. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is go to our backend, and then go to Templates, Theme Builder, and we're going to start on the menu. And as you can see, I currently have a menu. I'm going to make a new one. So I'm going to go into that one I have right now, and I'm going to put it into draft mode just so we could see. And then to create your header, so we're calling it a menu, but it's actually called a header. Basically, any website you're using, that's called the header. There's a header and a footer. The header's at the top, the footer's at the bottom of a website page. So in order to create your header, we're going to go to Add New, and then Header. So, and then make sure that you have header selected as your template type. And then name it whatever you want. So I already have main header. I usually call it main header, but I'm going to call this one alternate header. All right, cool. So when you create the template, you're going to get all these like blocks, these template blocks that Elementor created. I don't use these. You can if you want. Feel free to use them. If you want to use them, you just click it, look at it, and say, "Oh, okay, that's what I want," and then you insert. It probably makes it pretty easy. I just think I have to restyle it sometimes, so I just create it myself. We're just gonna do it from scratch. If you want to use this, you can, but we're gonna be doing it a different way. So exit out of that, and then click the plus here, and then let's start out with 2 columns. So these are columns. If you want 1, that would take up the whole page. 2 would take up 50% and 50%. 3 would be 33.3333, 33. And so on. But we're going to do 2 for right now. Now, one thing I like to start out with is building these columns. So on the left, and you can create this however you want. This is how I would create one for this website specifically, and all websites are going to be a little bit different. But let's start by changing our column size. So on the left, we're going to put the logo. So that's about maybe 15% of the width. Say this is the width. This might be about 15 to 25%. So let's start by, we'll make it 25. So if you click this column here, this box, and you type in 25 in column width, that'll give you 25%, and then this one is 75%. If you click this little box, it'll tell you. So let's go back over to our column. Now, the first thing we want to do is add our logo in. So to do that, you're going to go to, and Elementor makes it pretty convenient. They put the site logo right here. So if you click, hold, and drag, you're going to bring site logo in. And that looks a little small. Now, if you're not seeing a logo when you drag that in, it means that you haven't uploaded your logo into the customize area, into the site branding area on your in customize. So let me show you how to do that really quick. So you can just leave this alone, or you can publish, especially if it's a dev site. So publish. Let's just do that really quick. So publish, and then add condition, entire site. Oh, I'm getting this message is saying that I have two, but I think it's just not updated that I made the other one draft. Maybe. If not, I have to go remove it. But let's see. Yeah, so we have the new menu up. Okay, so if you're not seeing the logo there, you're going to have to go to the front end, or you could do it through the dashboard. This is just, I think, the easiest way to do it. And then go to customize, open that up, and then site identity. Now, the theme you're using is going to determine where this is. So some themes will hide it, especially if you're using some of the premium themes will create their own branding element area that's not in customize. So you just have to kind of know your theme. If you have questions on it, I know I did another video on how to add a logo, and no one had site identity, but this is how it's supposed to be done. This is how WordPress tells theme developers to make it like that. That's why I created the video to do that, but some of the themes, they kind of take it over. But I would say a majority of themes, it's going to be in here because that's where it's supposed to be. So so if you go to customize and then go to site identity, you're going to see two spots. Now, if you're interested in the theme I'm using, this is the Hello theme, and it's specifically for Elementor. I like the Hello theme because it's totally stripped, and I can make sites really customized to how I want. I don't have to go off of some theme. So, and the benefit of that to me is my site's not going to look like anyone else's site unless I want it to. So, okay. So, if you don't see your logo in here, it'll say add a logo. So you're just going to click add logo and then put it in. And then another thing you should do is favicon, site title, site tagline. So the site title will be up here. So if you hover over that, PulseNest CRM for small to enterprise business. And that's what we put. Okay. Yeah. For small to enterprise business. Well, it should be the site title, but looks a little different. Maybe I put in the settings as well. But when you put in your site title, that's the title of the site that search engines will see. And then the favicon is really important. So with your favicon, you want to make that 512 by 512. and you can give it a background or no background. So cool. That's if you don't see your logo. But if you see it, just keep going. Okay, so let's style this a little bit. So now we're back in the template area. Let's style this a little bit. Let's give it a background. So if I click these 6 dots, I can edit this section. So if I want to give a background to this entire area, you're going to select there and then go to Style and then go to Background and select whatever color you want. So if you want it to be red, you can select red. I think I already have some colors in here. So, and if you're wondering what I just did, these are global colors. And if you want more instructions on global elements in Elementor, please let me know. That might be another, I think that's a little more advanced tutorial. But this is where you can save your color, branding colors, so you can utilize them pretty easily. So I think this is like the dark blue that I use. I believe I was using a gradient for the background, but we're just going to do a color for right now. Now let's click back here. I think we're looking good. Let's go back to the logo because it looks a little funky. It's too small. Let's give this a width. So we're going to say, so automatically I click on the logo, go to content, and then go to style. Sorry if I'm going a little fast. And then automatically it's on percentage. I want to select pixels. And then I want to put in whatever size logo I want here. So let's say 200. That looks fine. And let's give it a max width. So again, click pixels, and I'm just going to make that the same. Just because different devices are different, so I like to put in as much information as I can. Now height, you can just leave that auto. It's not as big of a deal as width. I always put this in as a best practice. Okay, so let's go on to the next element. So now that we have our logo on the left, let's update this. And then I always like to check the front of the site to see how it looks, how we're coming along. So that looks pretty, I think that's looking pretty good. Now what else are we going to want in a logo or in a menu? Let's take a look. So what I would probably add next is, and your menu is going to be different than mine. So the whole thing about this is you can develop any type of menu that you like. So for this site, I would start to build my navigation menu. So let's start creating that. So Elementor and WordPress kind of collaborated on this. So they have nav menu. So if you've used WordPress at all, if you created a menu already, you can just drag that in. You can drag that in and it would show up on the front end. I don't think I created one for this because I don't really use the nav menu. I think it's, for me, I have to go into 2 different spots to utilize it, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. But if you just wanted to drag your nav menu in there, you can do that. I mean, that works perfectly fine. So you would, when you do that, you would drag that in. And then if I had a menu in here, see if I had a menu, see where it says there are no menus in the site. If I already had a menu, it would say select the menu, and then I could select it and it would display it. And then if you want to style your menu, you go into here. I think that's how most of you are going to be doing it, so let's just do it that way. It's of great debate whether to use the menu or not. Just to give you an idea, I use icon list. I just like the freedom of the icon list, but some people in the office, they like using the menu, so I don't tell them not to or to do it, but and it's up to you. If you want to use an icon list, use an icon list. It's going to be very similar to what we're doing here. So let's create our menu, and then it'll be pulled into here. So go back to the back end, the dashboard, and then go down to appearance and then menus. Okay, and here's some pages that we created. So I'm just going to name this main menu or header menu. Main. And you can create, if you're not familiar with this menu area, you can create multiple menus and utilize them throughout the website. And you can use them with Elementor using that menu, navigation menu widget. Okay, so you don't really have to select, like this is obsolete when you're using Elementor. Automatically add, well, I guess you could do that if you wanted. I wouldn't suggest this because every single page that you create is going to be added into this menu. So I would never suggest this one. Display location, it doesn't matter. If you're not using Elementor, you got to select that, but you don't have to if you're using Elementor. Okay, so after you're done adding, so you just kind of add in whatever pages you want and then save. And then go back over to, make sure and update this every time that you're going to do something else so you don't lose it. And then once you update this menu, make sure and go back and refresh this page just so it can propagate the information that you put in. So you see I have my menu now. Now you see this drop down that I'm talking about. If you have like 15 menus, they'll be in the drop down. So this looks a little funky with these names. We should probably just change the names. And I'm actually going to delete a couple of these. So let's take this one off, remove that. I haven't been in the menu for a while, so now they have these new container mega menu type. Container. I have no idea what's going on in the menu area. I haven't been using it. I never liked this menu area. That's why I just think it's really clunky to use. Like if I want to drag things within, I just wish there was extra function. I want to create a plugin for it. But okay, so I'm going to leave these 4. And then let's go back. Let's just rename these. So about, and this is what's going to be displayed. This is what's going to be displayed, navigation, label. Yeah, let's say services. There you go. And then request a demo and sign up. That's fine. Now, this isn't the philosophical header menu tutorial. I'm going to do a, because this isn't probably the best practice. How I like to think of menus is, if you're new to web design, it's kind of like the buyer's journey, how they're going through the process of a sell. So you want to present everything that you can to a client or a customer or a visitor to the site in that navigation menu. You want them to be able to get to anywhere, but not make it complex where they can't find stuff. So it's really a mixture between art and science. Yes. So let's do this. So height. Now this is looking a little weird. Do you see how the logo is higher than this menu? We want this to be vertically aligned. So there's a couple ways to do this. We're going to click in here, go there, and then vertical align. We're going to select middle and see how it moved it down. Now they're all in line. So let's just style this a little bit. We're not going into if it's a well-designed menu or I mean, for like user experience. We're just going to make it look pretty for right now. So let's do about, services, request, and sign up. Cool. Let's change these to white just so you can read them a little easier. So in this nav menu, and I haven't used this in a while, but all the widgets in Elementor are going to be, that's what one thing I really like about Elementor. As far as design flow, it makes it really easy because every one of the widgets is going to be content, style, and then advanced. So whenever you need to style a widget, you just go into style. So we're going to change the text color right here, text color, there you go. And then one thing we probably want to do is change that pointer. See the little gray line coming? You probably can barely see it, but we can change the color of that. So if we go to hover and then pointer color, we can change that to white. So now it's showing up white. And it's totally up to you if you want to use that pointer. I'm neither here nor there on it. I think it's overused, but you can change that too. So, and forgive me, I don't really use the nav. I like the list icon, but I know that I'd probably get a bunch of comments about people saying that you should use the menu, but I don't know. So here, if you go to content, content is going to give you like a framework of how this widget is going to work. So anything that pertains to what's being displayed. Okay, so that's how you would think about content. Style is how it looks. And then advanced would be, they're typically the same thing, but like we have visibility controls. I think that's another widget. You might not have that. And then motion effects, you can do a lot of different stuff. So this would be a more advanced stuff that you can do to a widget. Okay, so looking good. If we want to change this pointer, we can change it here. You can make an over line, so it's a line that goes over. You can make a double line that lines on the outside. You can make a background, so this would change the background color. And then you could change the text to do different things. So we're just making the text a little bit bigger. And then framed. So framed. And actually the menu's fine. I just stopped using it. I can't remember why I stopped using it. I just felt like I had more freedom with the list. The list or icon list. Okay, so we'll stick with, let's do this double line. It's fine. Double line. And then one thing you're going to want to look at as well as that is what kind of indicators you want. So if you want a chevron, angle, or plus. And you're not going to see that unless you have a sub menu. Let's go back to our menu. Update this really quick. And then go back to menus. And let's add a menu item in here. And then drag this under services, for instance. You drag it under and then to the right. That's indicating that it's a sub menu of services. And then save that. I'd probably add a couple. Let's add 2 more. So you can really see how that sub menu looks. Okay, update. Then go back to the header. Let's go to the front end. So from the menu, just hold Control or right click this and then open link in new tab. And then you see there's the little chevron next to this. That's the indicator that they're talking about. So sub menu indicator, we have an angle, classic, chevron, or a plus. Let's do plus to see how that looks. Yeah, so there you go. There is there's our menu in the header. Now, one thing I like to add is some call to actions, like a button that's just persistent here. And that's how I'll finish out this tutorial. So click in that menu. Then to add this button in, we're going to click in the nav menu, go to advanced, go down to positioning, and then width, inline. So advanced, positioning, width, inline. And that's going to, if you know anything about CSS, there's something called inline block or inline that just displays elements next to each other, depending on the screen size. So as the screen gets smaller, they're going to stack anyway. But if the screen's big enough to facilitate it, they'll stay inline. So these columns are inline right now. That's what that is. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is go to button. And you can go to the search and just type in button. Or you can look for it. I typically just search. Okay, so go from there, and you're going to drag that underneath this one. And it's supposed to display next to it, but we have to do the same thing we just did to the menu. So click the button, advanced, positioning, and then inline. And with the nav menu, it already has some spacing there. I would probably space it out a little bit more because the pointer's touching the edge of it. It doesn't look crisp to me. So let's add, select the menu, and then unlink the margins here. And then you're going to give a margin to the right and left. So let's do 5 to the right and then 5 to the left. I always add it to both sides just for symmetry, I guess. And then for the button, you're going to click that, unlink right and left, 5. And you can do whatever you want. So 5 and 5. Now let's style our button a little bit. So click the button, go to content. You can change the text here. So sign up, whatever you want it to be there. And then you're going to add your link. So in here, you can just start to type in a page and it'll find it. So sign up. Or you can copy a link and paste it in, however you'd like to do that. Okay. And if you want an icon for that button, you can add it in here. Show you. So let's do this dragon. Got a dragon. Okay, so cool. We got that. And if you want to add some additional spacing to the button or to the icon, you can. You can put it after. And then let's give some more styling to this. So go to style. Yeah, I would typically go down this line in content and just make sure. If you have a button ID, say you already had your classes and IDs set up for buttons, you can just put it right here. And that would give you the style. Like if I had, I don't think I have one on this site. Okay, so go to style. And then one thing that I didn't cover before is typography. So if you go to typography, you can change the text or the font for it. So let's find a font really quick. Typography, font family. So I can put that one in. I can go to Armada. Let's find Montserrat. I think I'm using this one. Okay, so I'm using this font. Now, okay, so my my buttons here are all uppercase. So I'm going to do that within this one. So let's do the size. I'm going to put about 17 maybe. And then weight, we're going to do 700. That's how bold it is. And then transform is going to be uppercase. And then style, you can italicize it. I think we'll do italicize. It looks cool. And then you can underline, overline, line through. I'm not going to do anything. I would never do an underline in text in a button. That's probably that's a design faux pas. But okay, so we have a button. Now I want to change the background color. Let's go to that. So you can select your color, or I already have my color style in here. So I'm probably just going to do that one. And then if you'd like, you could change the border in here. I'm going to actually give this a solid border of the same color. So you go to border type, solid, double, dotted, dashed. I'm just going to do solid. And let's do 2. Yeah, 2. And then I'm going to give it the same color, but you can add whatever color you want. Now, just referring back to my buttons, I think that's about 10 border radius. So that's like the curves around the border here. 10. Nah, it's 7. Let's go with that. And then you could change your padding if you'd like. So you could change it to small like that, or let's say I'm going to do 9 and then unlink, and then 15, 18, and 18. Cool. And let's change this to 6. Yeah. Okay, so now it's a little boring when you hover over, so I'm going to go to give it a hover effect. So go to hover, and then let's change that background. I'm going to change the background to the same as this color. So I'm going to go background, select this, and then I want the text color to be the same as the border. Let's go there. Actually, let's make the text color white, and then the border, let's make that white. Okay, that looks better. So one thing I want to do with this entire column is move it over to the right, because it would look a little asymmetrical over here. I think it needs to be balanced. So this to this side, that to that side. Okay, so hit the column here and then go to horizontal align and then end. And it'll move everything over to the right. Now this I want to be aligned to the left. So I'm going to click that and click this and then horizontal align start. And it didn't do anything because I have to do it on the image level as well. So click the image and then left. So now it's all the way to the left. This is all the way to the right. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Cool. So we have our menu set up. So I'm satisfied with that for this tutorial. You could get into even more. This is actually there's one problem that we're going to have here is this is not mobile optimized. So if I go in here, okay, I guess it is, but this is not a pretty mobile menu. I'm actually going to do another video on mobile menu because I think we're already at 32 minutes here. The mobile menu, to get that correct, takes a little bit of time. I'll show you an example of what you can do. Let's take a look at our site. So 702 Pros. So this menu was made with Elementor as well. So if I click here, it pulls up a mobile menu. It's just a lot more exciting than this one that's given from the navigation menu that you utilize. I make this one separate. So I do a separate menu for desktop than I do for mobile. And some people might think that's overkill, but I just think people are utilizing mobile so much, it's really important. So I'm going to do that video hopefully soon. If you'd like to see the mobile video, please leave a comment below. Like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this. But like I was saying, I'm going to make the mobile video very soon, and by the time you're watching it, it might already be out, and I'll have a link after the video is complete that you can take a look at. Right. All right, guys. So thank you for watching, and I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then make sure and leave a comment below if you need something or help with anything else with WordPress, Elementor, and Elementor Pro. All right. So we'll see you next time.